you trailblazers, you glitches in the matrix, you sovereign beings. I think if you're watching this channel, I think pretty much most of you have done that internal journey towards your sovereignty. And if you are new here, then good luck with this journey, because it's necessary. We need to get ourselves out of the savior programs, out of the new cage. We need to become our own leaders, our own saviors. This is the key. This is the way out. Resonating at a sovereign frequency is literally glitching the matrix and disturbing the field, this field that is being projected from this Saturn moon matrix, amplified by the moon, which is all about rigidity, control, submission, essentially slavery. So sovereignty is the polar opposite of that. And that's what we need to move into, and that is what hopefully this channel is helping you guys with. Before I get into the video, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and as usual, if you'd like to work with me, just check out my website, transcendingtimes.org. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this. This is Bashar, right? We all know who Bashar is. I have reviewed this guy before. I'm not sure if my video got taken down of him. I know Abraham got taken down because I think they were both talking about the poke in the arm and saying that it was okay and all this stuff, right? And I called it out. And then, chance would be a fine thing. My videos got taken down, or at least one of them did. So the Bashar one might be there, but we'll have another look at him. I can't stand him, right? Not just because of what he preaches, just the energy before I even get into it. Just there's no heart energy, there's no soul energy. The way he kind of talks down, we're going to see that in a minute. Like a lot of these new cage gurus and leaders, they're talking down to the followers. I guess if you're going to be a follower, then you're asking to be spoken down to, but quite patronizing, quite passive aggressive. I've actually worked with quite a few clients that were into him back in the day, and they went to some of his talks, didn't like his energy, and you can read the energy, you can tune into it. There's no love or connection there. So without further ado, I've fast forwarded it a bit because there's two sort of case studies within this video that I want to look at. The first one's quite interesting because the woman she's quite challenging towards him, and the way he reacts is kind of interesting. And then there's another one that I want to look at a little bit later on, which I'll fast forward the video. So let's get into it and see what Bashar has got to say.
And to you, good day.
Good day.
Nice to meet you.
Speak up. Speak up.
Okay. I have 3 questions.
Speak up more.
See, I don't know. It's just that. It's like, I would say, look, do you mind just speaking up a little bit? Just like, speak up more. It's like a dictator.
How many do we have time for?
Speak up. You just used one question. Asking how many questions do you have time for?
Wow. See what I mean? Just the energy of that. Like, these people have paid to see him. Like, if I was in a place where people have come to pay to see me, I would be like, okay, these people have paid to see me. That I'd have a lot more patience, but no.
So now you have time for one less.
2 then. I have had 4 alien contacts.
Yes.
3 in my dream, 1 was not a dream.
All right, and so, how exciting.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes. Go ahead.
See, it's just like the patronizing tone. It's just off, isn't it?
They weren't all pleasant, and
I didn't say they had to be pleasant. I said they were exciting. And they can be pleasant.
Yeah, nightmares are really exciting. Don't you just love them? Don't you just love waking up, having had a nightmare? Maybe you've Maybe you've fought in some kind of war, or maybe they've hooked into one of your fears and created a dream around it. Maybe you got sleep paralysis. It's all very exciting, isn't it? Again, you can see how like these people are justifying all this negative stuff that goes on. To them, they want you to think it's fun.
Pleasant. But remember that your own fears are being reflected back to you by the way you are engaging in the encounter.
So here we are with the gaslighting. The gaslighting's already started. It's always our fault in the new cage, So this, whatever she's experienced, and we're going to find out what it was in a minute, he's already saying it's her fault. It's a reflection of her. Couldn't be that it's just like downright dark or evil.
Actually, I'm not afraid of them at all.
No, I didn't say you were afraid of them. I said there were fears within you that are coming up, which is what makes them unpleasant.
Okay.
See, that's like doublespeak. So he's saying, I didn't say you were scared, but there are fears coming up within you. You see how he's kind of bent that and manipulated that to still say the same thing, but in a different way.
Just, some were creepy.
I understand, but that is simply another way of saying they're not familiar.
And disgusting.
If you say so.
Yes.
But you don't need a valid.
Yeah, so he completely invalidates what she's saying. She's telling him that this dream was disgusting. And he just says, if you say so, completely disregards her experience.
Value judgment on that because
No.
That's what's keeping you in that state of unpleasantness.
Right. However.
Of course, you can't judge in the new cage, right? Judgment is like the number one sin. Like you hear it all the time. Don't judge, don't judge. I've broke this down so many times. In this realm, in this reality, we all need to be judging, right? Because if you don't judge, then you don't go down the path of discernment and you could get tripped over. But these people don't want you to judge bad things. In fact, they gaslight you about it, which is what he's doing here.
The question is,
yes.
You're talking about having contact in the future, and I believe it's going to happen. But
yes.
So just on the whole contact, alien, a lie, and there's a lie in that word. We know that they want Project Bluebeam. We know that they want people to think that aliens are coming from outer space and all of this nonsense, and then they've got all their holographic technology, to when the time comes, scare the people. That's like their final plan if all this nonsense doesn't work with all the digital stuff. So there's intertwined another agenda as well here, sort of being spoken about.
Are you saying they're all benevolent? Because that was not my take on the 4 species.
I am not saying that there are not the existence of beings in creation that are less than benevolent. What I am saying is the individuals you are interacting with are, but they may not necessarily appear to be because some of them don't relate emotionally in the same way that humans do.
Yeah, because they don't have any feelings, because they're like programs, these entities. They're literal, they don't have emotions like we, they don't have empathy. This is why, down the years, work with so many people, their experiences of these entities are just like, the greys are just basically, you just get a sense of nothingness with them, no emotions, and then you've got the other end of the scale where they're just downright evil.
And thus they may seem to behave in ways that you feel are very disconnected. But it's not because they're intentionally malicious. It's because you're simply alien to one another in a way that you find disturbing.
So we're in a universe.
So he's basically saying that these entities aren't bad, it's just that you don't know them. When we know that they drain and siphon people's energy and, loop negative thoughts around our heads day after day.
Universe of duality, that means...
You're in a trinity. There's always a balance point between the two polarities.
Sure. But for every good, there is a bad.
Yes. There is a negative and
Can
a positive.
we all be benevolent? There is no other malevolent species in this universe?
No. There may be universes in which there are none, but in the totality...
So he's doing the whole pyramid sign there right in front of your eyes. They all do that. I mean, Keir Starmer, who just announced all the digital stuff, when he came to drop his line of, let me be clear, he did that sign. Andrew Tate does that sign all the time. They all do it. It's the pyramid. He's telling you who he is. And his website's full of symbology. When I looked at it a few years ago, I haven't looked at him for a while. I mean, obviously, I don't make a habit of watching these people. They're hard to watch, but you know.
Reality of existence, there always must be polarity. Otherwise, it's not complete. Again, remember that polarity.
Yeah, this whole idea that we have to suffer, we have to experience pain and suffering and torture and torment to make the good stuff feel valid. Again, this is another New Age concept I've broken down in my series. You know, these people will tell you that we need to experience evil and cancer and wars and all this stuff just so we can feel tingly when the good stuff happens. I mean, it's just another way that they excuse evil and pass it off as it's all normal, you know? They're always trying to normalize evil in the new cage.
Polarity is not a value judgment. It's just a recognition of positive and negative, mechanically speaking. Positive is that which is integrative, connective, expansive. Negative is that which is segregative, disconnective, contractive. That's all. Now, there are beings who will exemplify these things in ways that may be more emotional, maybe more personal. But fundamentally, the idea is that there will always be positive and negative energy. That doesn't mean that someone has to behave in a negative way just because negative energy and negative ideas will always exist. They have the ability to choose. But the idea is, when you know it's a trinity...
I don't know what all these weird slides are. I don't know what's going on there. What's she doing to her face? These aren't my slides, by the way. Poor woman.
When you know there's a balance point in the center, and when positive and negative are equal choices, equally valid choices, then you can choose what you prefer to experience, regardless of anyone else's.
Oh yeah, it's your fault because you chose, right? See the gaslight as well, right? It's your fault. You chose to experience a negative experience. Well, how about negative experiences just happen because we happen to be in a negative realm? How about that? No, he doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to blame you as normal.
Intention toward you. But if you give your power over, then you will experience what they may suggest that you experience based on the idea that you don't believe you're powerful enough to experience the reality that you prefer.
So again, I use the obvious examples, kids in Gaza, you know, people with like brain cancer, like they're choosing these negative experiences, are they? That's why these things are showing up in their lives. You see how this lets evil off the hook, this kind of very subtle mumbo-jumbo, New Age mumbo-jumbo, scrambles your mind and makes you think that it's your fault.
No, I'm very adamant about not giving my power away.
But I like this one because you'll see she doesn't cave in. Like she's still in the new cage, but you could tell she's got some doubts about what he's saying, and she holds him accountable. It's interesting.
But yet, you're experiencing some things in what you would call an unpleasant and disgusting way, which means you're defining things from a negative point of view. And that's giving your power away.
Just think positive, guys. When something evil shows up or you have a bad dream or a nightmare, just think positive.
All right, let me give you an example.
Oh, all right, by all means.
Well, my last contact was a reptilian.
If you say.
Sorry, he says if you say so. He gets quite triggered when she starts talking about the reptilian.
Say so.
And of course, with all the contacts that I've had, they do not want to have. In fact, they were surprised that I'm able to see them.
Yes.
And the other ones were surprised with it too. So
what?
They ended it all I'm saying is that it was not something they wanted me to be aware of.
No,
but that's not the point I wanted to make.
But that's not true.
Okay.
So you're proceeding from a falsehood.
Okay.
They may have been surprised that you could perceive them.
Right.
That doesn't mean that they didn't want you to see them.
Trust me, they don't want you to see them. They do not want you to see them. And he's probably saying all of this because he's a reptilian. He gets right up, he gets right triggered.
It simply means that they were not aware that you were at a place where you suddenly could.
Okay.
It's a very different thing from not wanting you to.
Okay, so they were surprised.
Yeah.
That's BS. They know all about us. They know us better than we know ourselves. They know what's going on.
Gotcha. But then they abruptly left. So I thought maybe they did not want to continue with the contact.
They recognized that you had made a big step and didn't want to give you more at that moment than you believed you could handle.
Gotcha.
No, they probably shit their pants. That's what happened.
Now, isn't that a relatively benevolent thing to do?
There's one that... Yes.
A relatively benevolent thing to do.
Yes.
Wow, see that? Like, he completely cuts in and basically demands that she bows to his point of view.
And I didn't say they were all malevolent.
I know.
There was one I had to run away from, and seriously, they chased after me. They pointed a gun.
A gun?
Yeah, something that looked like one.
It wasn't.
Again, he's just completely dismissing her experience. And they do show up sometimes with these kind of like energy weapons and stuff. I mean, I would have just destroyed it personally. But she's not. She has a potential to do all of that, but she hasn't got the self-belief, right? She thinks these things are more powerful than what she is, so she ran away. And that's probably why they showed up with a gun, because they know, well, we'll just show up with a gun and she'll skedaddle.
They chased. When I said I don't want to go with you, they did not take no as for an answer, basically.
You did not take no for an answer.
Your fault.
No, I ran. They chased after me, literally.
Yes, but if you had stood your ground, they would have respected that you knew what you were talking about. You didn't need to run.
All right.
Running invites chasing.
This AI tool will take your idea and create.
So someone's trying to mug
design,
you.
Images.
Someone's trying to mug you and coming at you with like a knife, or in her case, a gun. Right? And you're supposed to just stand there, right? And then they'll just stop in their tracks.
Do you understand? Standing your ground and stating your case in a balanced way.
I mean, the irony is there is a point in this because, like I say, you can destroy these entities, but it's just crazy.
Is something they can respond to as well. But if you run, then they're going to think you want to be chased. Because that's what you're demonstrating.
Oh, it's obviously a lesson she needs to learn. Don't run when someone comes at you with a gun.
That's not how I experienced it, but okay.
I know that's not how you experienced it, but I'm telling you why you experienced it the way you did is because of how you're looking at what happens. You're defining it in a negative way that allows you to think that the choice you should make is...
So someone shows up chasing you with a gun, and you're supposed to spin that into a positive. Like, can you see how delusional this stuff is? Like, it's just incredible. It's mind-blowing how they spin all this stuff into blaming the person. Like, now she's like, it's my fault. Like, it's like the whole, you think negative thoughts, so you create negative things in your life. Like that kind of BS, right?
To run, and that means you're looking at it from a negative perspective, which is why you feel that it's a negative thing. So I'm explaining to you why you're having the feelings you're having. Whereas if you simply come from a positive place and stand your ground and state your case, you'll have a completely different experience with them. Because they're not malevolent. They are.
Right. Okay.
However, very deeply connected to the parts of your
Nice globe earth program in there.
psyche that have to do with survival instinct. So when you let your reptilian brain...
Oh, it's your brain's fault. Your survival instinct, when you allow your survival instinct to kick in...
react in a negative way, you're going to get the reflection from them because they're also acting primarily on instinct.
Oh, you're a mirror.
And they're reflecting to you the instincts you're giving off from your reptilian brain.
I wasn't scared until they said you must come with us.
So what?
So what? Like, he's just so dismissive of the evil taking place here. Like, again, like someone's got a knife, they're chasing at you, and they say, come with us, and then you tell someone else, and they say, so what, you know? Well, it's your fault. I mean, you didn't stand your ground. Like,
why must I do anything?
Because they're telling you what you've agreed to do. You're just not remembering.
Well, consciously, I didn't.
I understand. And if you had stood your ground and had a conversation and said, oh, I must come with you, please explain, they would have explained why the sentence was translated that way. Because you're the one insisting on having the interaction too.
She's basically getting outright etheric interfered with, right? She's got entities chasing after her. He's trying to deflect it all over to her, and that now he's saying that she signed up for this. She can't remember when she signed up for it, because obviously, even if she did, she's got her memory wiped. She's got no conscious recollection of that. She's only going on basically what he's saying.
So all they're doing is reflecting the absolute certainty of the agreement that you have made. You must come with us. That's just the reflection of the agreement that you've made.
Can we rescind these agreements if we choose that?
There is no reason for you to want to if you understand them from the positive point of view.
Yeah, the reason is she's a sovereign being, and if she wants to, she can do that, right?
But yes, but recognize that if you rescind them from the negative point of view, all you're doing again is running away. And you will never, ever escape your own fear.
No, I would rescind them because I don't know them, and I...
Exactly. Common sense, right?
I don't like to have contracts with people I don't know for reasons I don't know.
You made the contracts, and on that level, when you made the contract, you knew what you were doing. So all you're saying...
Why can't she remember it then? Why don't you discuss why she can't remember the contracts?
Is as a physical persona, you're not trusting the agreements that your higher self has made. Mm-hmm. And that means you're not working with yourself completely.
It's such a gaslight, you know. Now he's saying that she doesn't trust herself completely. And you can tell the spidey senses are going in her brain here. She's not really buying what he's saying.
Either.
But can I be 100% sure of what you
Absolutely you can. By saying you are 100% sure, by taking control of your power, by knowing that the only way that you would make such an agreement is if it actually positively served you. And when you know that, and when you behave like you know that, you will experience that you know that. But until you behave like you know...
Just hogwash. She's clearly, like I say, she's clearly had a bad experience with an entity or a number of entities. It didn't feel right. It wasn't right. And he's literally just putting all the blame onto her.
Know that, you'll experience the opposite. These things, in a sense, are tests.
Ah, here we go. We're here to learn lessons, of course, even though she signed contracts she can't remember. Earth cannot be a school by proxy because we have our memories wiped. A school doesn't operate like that. You take a test, you remember what you learned, you take it again. Not here. You don't remember any of it.
To see how strong you are. To see how willing you are to be in concert with yourself and the agreements that you have made instead of separating and segregating your physical mind so strongly from your higher mind and not allowing yourself to realize that you're in control of this.
So how can we be sure?
I just told you.
No, other than what you're saying.
There is no other way.
He's just he's so rude. He's just interrupting her because he knows she's grilling him. Like, she's not accepting what he's saying. So now he's trying to speak over her.
There is no other way other than to simply decide to be sure. Because what you say in your reality is what sticks. So if you just decide that you're sure you did this for a positive reason, then you will...
So I'm going to decide, right, that I live in a world tomorrow where they're not trying to impose all this stuff onto us, and then that's just going to be my reality just because I make that decision.
Only experience positive and beneficial effects. And if you don't, then that means you're locking back into the negative definitions.
This is why these new cagers just go around obsessively trying to think positive thoughts all day. Because they've got these gurus like him, he's not the only one, that tells them it's their fault. If they think negatively in any way, then they're experiencing the results of their negative thoughts, or they're drawing negative experiences in because of what they're thinking. So these new cagers just go around in this, what I call fake positivity, which isn't grounded in anything. And of course, they don't get anywhere with it. In fact, they end up in a worse place.
Don't do that. And if you don't do that, that's how you can be sure. By stopping yourself from locking into negative definitions, you will be sure. Because then you will only experience everything in a neutral way that you can give positive meaning to. And when you give it positive meaning, you can only get a positive effect regardless of anyone else's intention in the same situation. You exist in your own reality.
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, if you believe that, then understand you can't experience anything you don't agree to experience.
See, again, you know, I mean, she's putting up a fight with him, but we see this so much, not just in the New Age, but in religion, in, you know, people that believe in government, in politics. They always put someone or something else as the higher authority, like they know something more. And don't get me wrong, like there's people that know more stuff about certain things than what I do, right? For example, I hate golf, right? So I'm not going to pretend that I know more than someone that's been playing golf for like 20 years, right? So that's just stupid, right? So there are people that know stuff, right? But it's that discernment that people, especially in the New Age and religion, are lacking, and that constant need for a savior or a leader or someone or something that's going to guide them. And basically save them.
I feel like I haven't, because I managed it correctly. I believe I did that.
Then go on believing that and see what happens.
Okay.
But I guarantee you will come to a different conclusion the further you investigate this. But for now, wherever you want to be is perfect for you. We're not trying to change your mind.
Yeah, not half. You've just gaslit her for what, like 20 minutes?
We're just exploring the dynamics of the energy.
It's like when they say, we're not judging you, you know, when people have their life review, we're not judging you, but then they show you all your worst bits, right? So you judge yourself.
Patterns we see within you when you ask the question and when you present the tableau. But I think you will have help in your dream state as well.
Yeah, they're probably going to implant her now. She's too close. She's sailing too close to the wind. There was a very kind of subtle, almost like a subtle threat there, wasn't there? Like, you know, if you know what these beings are doing at night and stuff. She's probably going to get another visitation, poor woman, of the reptilians with the guns.
Okay.
And it will open up a vista for you that will allow you to see some of these things in a slightly different light.
That would be good.
One of the things that I am allowed to spill the beans on is
Why does it have to be all so cryptic? You know, like if these like channeled beings were so, it's like the whole like angel numbers and signs and things like that. Like if these things were really in our benefit, there would be a way they could just straight out come with the correct information. Like why have we got to be like these investigators to look at all these little clues and things, right? Because I'm thinking, if I'm a guide, right, in the astral, and I truly want to help, right, I'm gonna find a way where I can tell the person directly, don't go to the light, or you know what I mean? It's just everything's cryptic. Like he's got all these answers, but he's holding some stuff back, and like
to remind you that in many of the encounters, in fact, most of the encounters all of you have with different forms of beings, one of those beings is almost always another version of you.
right.
In another reality. Deal with that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward it to another one, which I found interesting. So let's see this one.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone.
Hi, Bashar.
Andy, you good day.
So my latest excitement and something that I resonate with a lot.
My latest excitement, I'm in the vortex. I remember like back when I first woke up. This is quite embarrassing, right? This is what I mean, right? I was not like, I never fully fell for like the new Cage stuff, but I did go through a little spell, right? I hold my hands up and I remember, oh my God, I feel embarrassed talking about it now. But when I first, this might make you guys feel a bit better because I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I can't believe I fell for that. But I did back in the day try and get in the vortex. I must admit, I did try and get in the vortex. I couldn't stay in it for long, but...
It's a book that's come out called The Soul's Plan.
The Soul's Plan.
And it talks about pre-birth planning.
Pre-birth planning.
See, he's so, like, rude. It's just rude. It's passive-aggressive.
And I'm fascinated with this idea, but it also causes me a lot of anxiety.
I beg your pardon. Would you like to rephrase that?
I'm excited about this idea.
And sometimes you choose to buy into negative definitions.
Not allowed to think negative. We can't have that. You're going to create a negative reality or a negative experience, even though it is negative.
That generate anxiety within you.
Yes.
It doesn't cause anything.
Yes. I
right.
choose to be anxious about.
Thank you for your honesty.
Anxiety is not a choice, right? It's a natural reaction. See, what these people want to do is they want to demonize our feelings, just like they tell you you can't get angry, you know, it's bad to get angry. I mean, like I say, being stuck in anger, that's not good, but righteous anger, there's a place for that. And when you're anxious about something, because this realm is full of stuff to make you anxious, like, that's a natural human emotion, right? I have anxiety about this place every day, more or less. You know, I can deal with it. I'm not consumed by it. But it's not like I'm choosing to feel anxiety. It's just, you know, it's just the nature of this reality, what they're trying to do to us day in, day out. It, by proxy, makes you anxious. But again, he's blaming her. He's blaming her, saying she's choosing to feel anxious.
Now that you are willing to be responsible for what you are experiencing, you are empowered to do something about it because you can't change what you're not willing to own.
Yes.
It's your
Because
fault.
if you're saying, well, the book did this to me, what are you going to do? Tear the book to pieces? You're still going to be anxious. But if you own it, you can change it.
Yes.
All right.
I agree.
And so
I get anxious. I choose to be anxious about certain ideas related
such as
whether I have the ability to create certain things or whether they've already been, whether my highest self has already chosen them before I've...
Who cares? Every single appointment that has already been made will play out in the proper timing that it needs to. Why do you have to know when that might be, as long as you trust that it will happen when...
Why do you have to know? Well, maybe, right? Maybe it's my life. Maybe because it's my life, right? Like, what a stupid question. Like, it's like, why wouldn't you not want to know, like, anything about your personal life that may happen? You're going to want to know, right? Maybe you could plan accordingly, right?
And it needs to. You can't miss the appointments that have been made, except if you spend your time and energy worrying if you will miss the appointments that you've been made. That's the only way to miss the appointments. If you don't worry you'll miss them, you can't miss them.
Okay.
Does that help?
See, the emotions, our feelings, they're like indicators. They tell us if something is good. They tell us if something is off. They tell us if something is bad. They tell us if something is wrong. They tell us if there is an injustification and we need to react. They are our indicators in life. And pretty much when I follow mine, it serves me well. Like, it hasn't done me any harm by following my emotions. If I feel guilty, maybe I need to apologize. If I feel angry, maybe there's an injustice. If I'm feeling a bit off about some information, maybe I need to go into it a little bit more and discern more. If I'm feeling happy, maybe I need to continue doing more of that stuff that makes me happy. But these people want to demonize our natural human emotions.
Yes.
Yes.
There's another new energy healing modality that I'm working with and I'm really excited about.
All right, a permission slip.
A permission slip.
Which is what?
It's called the emotion code, and it helps remove sort of trapped emotions that people have in their
There's
body.
really no such thing as trapped emotions.
Okay.
But there are definitions that may make it appear so.
Okay.
Understand the profound difference between those two statements?
Can you expand
There
on...
is no...
That's absolute lies. There is such a thing as trapped emotions from trauma. That's what a lot of physical issues are. I've worked with people that have had aches and pains and stuff all their life, and we've gone into some memory, reparented the child, unburdened the child, integrated it, and the pain's gone away. So he's just outright lying there. See, these people, they don't want people doing true healing. Like, they want you to still carry all of this stuff.
No such thing as trapped emotions, but there are definitions that may make it appear so. That statement right there is freeing, because you know there are no such things as true trapped emotions. So you're already starting ahead of the game by knowing that the only way someone could experience it as if there are trapped emotions is if they have a definition that makes it appear so, and then you know exactly what to work with.
It's basically spiritually bypassing. It's stopping people from doing the work that they need to do.
That definition that makes it appear so. Because once they find that definition and identify it and let it go, they will no longer feel emotionally trapped. That's how it works. You have discovered the mechanism itself.
So just say, I don't have these trapped emotions, and then you won't have them, okay?
That needs to be dealt with, that will allow for a change in experience. How freeing is that? The correct definition is a description of the actual mechanism you need to work with. The correct definition is actually a description of the mechanism you need to work
He's just shouting at people.
with.
You can tell when they're onto something because he gets angry and starts shouting at them.
Does that help?
It does.
But
I'm going to process that because I want to know it and not just know it intellectually. So
All right.
I'm going to work with that.
All right.
There's a specific type of thing called a heart wall. I know you've spoken before about how our hearts are connected.
Yes.
This is absolutely a thing. We have a firewall. well, it's not so much an etheric implant. Our heart is very targeted with etheric implants because they don't like the expansion of the heart. It's not good for their low vibrational, low frequency reality. So we have a number of different implants, etheric implants, hooks, cords, anchors, lots of stuff going on with the heart, and the heart firewall is something else. And I bet he's going to outright deny it.
Does that concept, and I may be defining it incorrectly, but the process of removing someone's heart wall that's keeping them from energetically like connecting with other people.
Excuse me one moment, I'm laughing.
See how he just completely disregards that out of hand, even makes it a joke. Because she's onto something. He knows she's onto something. So he makes it out to be a joke.
All right. By the way,
Yes.
if you're going to buy into the definition and concept of such a heart wall, I just showed you how to dissolve it. Okay. Laughter. Get them to laugh. It'll dissolve. And it will show itself for the smoke and mirrors that it is. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
It does.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bashar.
There's the old butterflies.
Thank you for the heart to heart.
Anyway, guys, I've had enough of Bashar for today, forever. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Spiritual bypassing, same old stuff, blaming people for their normal reactions, their normal emotions, blaming people for the negative or bad experience that they have, saying that it's their fault basically because they're thinking negative, denying any kind of etheric interference, denying that these entities have bad intentions, denying things like etheric implants or anything like that, and even just laughing at it, demonizing anything that anyone said, shouting down at people. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to leave it there. Have a good day, or whenever you watch this evening. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.